But looking at those people and listening to what they say, claiming to represent God, they too put a mask on God. So when Zacchaeus is climbing that tree and wants to know, who is this Jesus and what is he about? We need to be like Zacchaeus and say, wait a minute, I see the crowd. That's not what I want to see. I want to climb that tree and see the guy. I want to see Jesus. And if it's God, maybe it's she. It's not necessarily he. I want to see the Creator for who the Creator is, and not who I've been told the Creator is. Because if I read the Scripture, and I compare that to what I'm seeing on TV, those are two completely different stories.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we were kids, we'd love to watch like the Bible stories, 10 Commandments, and sit there with Scripture and compare them. It's like, wow, did they totally blow that, right? I mean, the stories are so different. I get there's dramatic effect, right? But we know that what's portrayed is very often not what is real. So I want to challenge us to be Zacchaeus, to climb that tree, to see what's behind the mask that people have put on God. There are far too many masks in our world. And here's the cool thing. I think that when we do that, I think that we climb that tree and we see what's behind that God mask that people have put on. Because see, here's the thing. God never tried to hide who God was. I mean, the whole Scripture, the whole point to the Bible is to show you who God is. It is God's love letter to us to say, here's who I am. This is the plan. This is how much I love you. We're all messy and there's a way out of it and it's okay. We'll all do it together. God has never tried to hide who God is from us. But I think that sometimes that attempt to put a mask on God is an attempt to control God. Keep God all for their little selves. And you can't do that. God can't be contained that way. Which I think is cool news myself. That God is so much bigger and more beautiful and diverse than we have ever thought. So the cool thing about seeing God without the God mask is we start to see the beauty of God. And when we do that, we start to see behind that God mask and see who God really is. We don't have as much need for our own masks. Because remember the song, I can see the fingerprints of God on you. When I start to see who God really is, then I start to see who God really is in you. Mm-hmm. And I can no longer look at people and not see the divine creation. From the beginning of the book, it's all about that divine part of us. Let us create humans in our image. The divine in us. That's that spark that we have. It's what separates us from cats. Not dogs, because dogs are God people, but no, I'm just kidding. That's the way we cat too. I know we cat. Even though I'm her favorite. Right. But we know there's something different about people. And we have that divine spark, that soul inside of us that has that essence of God in us. And when we start to see that in each other, what an incredible thing. In fact, I was reading, there's something on Facebook, it's been about a year ago now, but it stuck with me, which is amazing because there's a lot of stuff on Facebook. But, and they talked about, when you encounter someone that you don't like, or you hear hateful words about somebody, insert these words. I can't stand that divine image of God. That divine image of God just really ticked me off today in traffic. That divine image of God is a piece of God. That changes our thinking. Once we start to see who God is, we see God in each other. It's painful sometimes. But as we become more and more who we are, and we start to see more and more of who God is, we suddenly realize, you know what? Who am I trying to hide from? If God, the creator of the universe, thinks I'm cool, then why do I really care what somebody else thinks? And yeah, maybe I have a particular voice or a particular persona with my coworkers or my family or whatever, but I can still be me in that because I am loved. And if I have to climb a tree to get a better view, then wow, isn't it worth it? That's a cool thing. So have fun on Halloween. Dress up and be wild and crazy and be whatever you want to be. You know, or use it as an excuse to wear shorts and shirts. I don't care. Right? We're not formal here. Be whoever you want to be on Halloween. Wear whatever mask you want to wear. Don't scare the kids. But you don't have to have a mask with God. And in this place, you don't have to have the mask with each other. Because we are all in this together. Amen?
Amen.